I should be on there. Is there music?
No.
I don't know why. Hi, everybody. I'm coming to you from a much warmer place than I normally am, and hopefully you can hear me. You guys want to uh, you guys want to give me a heads up that you can hear me? I'd appreciate it. Um, we are outside in Las Vegas. We just traveled here today, and you never know what the weather's going to be like. We've got some storm clouds as well as some thunder and lightning. So if you see me run away real quick under the shade, I'll be bringing you along. So, yeah, there, I see you can hear me, so that's good. Um, I am also getting the comment section up, so feel free to write any comments that you might want to. I would be happy to talk with any of you about anything. Well, anyway, why am I in Las Vegas? Well, my son and his family live here. And I'm at their house. They had a beautiful backyard with a pool, and we enjoy it a lot. Can you hear that thunder? I didn't hear any thunder until I went live. And then I started to hear thunder. So anyway, let's see if I can turn this so you see more palm trees than house. Anyway, um, good to see all of you and hear from you. I've got a big announcement to make for you. And so I want to get right to it. I don't think I have a drum roll on here, or I'd play a drum roll for you. My music didn't play earlier, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. But I am pleased to announce, it's official as of today, that we will be having a celebration of hope on Thursday night, September 22nd, in Omaha at the Relevant Church in Elkhorn, where out by where I live. And get this, we have Sandy Patty coming, and she will be with us in person. And so we're very excited. She's going to sing and do a fair amount of songs for us, as well as we're going to have all kinds of celebration with celebrating people's stories and the story of hope and the celebration of hope. Now, normally for a fundraiser, we do a big gala. And we decided that this year we're going to try something different where we don't sell $100 seats or anything like that. There will be tickets for sale, and they will be $35 a piece for everything in regards to seeing it in person in Omaha. We will also have the ability for people to purchase tickets sooner or later from other areas of the country, not necessarily Omaha. But you can get your tickets now online at our freshhope.us website. There's a banner across the top that says get your tickets, and you can get those tickets. We even have VIP tickets that will be for sale, and they are so that you can meet Sandy Patty ahead of time. And if you're like I am, you've heard her for a long time. You'll be able to also watch and see things online, but that'll come later. that comes later. And that's not for the people in the Omaha area per se. Okay, so we want to first, there's only 800 seats, and so you're going to want to get your ticket early because Sandy Patty usually sells out. And she's coming and she believes in Fresh Hope, and we're excited about that. And we are also going to have 5 other locations that will be satellite locations where people can watch the whole thing um, live with us, and the audiences will be able to see each other and talk with each other. Isn't that exciting? And so I want to ask Samantha and Susan, they are on right now, and I can see you guys. Could you type in where, Samantha, the five satellite locations will be? We know one will be Bakersfield, California. We're excited about that. And, it's the kind of thing also where maybe your church isn't going to be having a satellite presentation of it, but your Fresh Hope group would like to watch. And we'll make arrangements for that to happen also so that you could have a Fresh Hope party that night and everybody watch together. Um, it's going to be quite a fun thing. And for those of you who are coming in person, we hope to have food trucks outside before the event so that people can eat and picnic together. It's going to be a casual event, and but we're very excited about that. So I know that it's Bakersfield, I believe, San Salvador in El Salvador, as well as I believe there'll be a satellite location in Colorado as well. And so we're looking forward to that. And that was the big announcement. So we're really thrilled that Sandy Patty has been willing to come up to Omaha. She lives down in Oklahoma, and we're just looking forward to her joining us and being there in person. As well as we're going to hear numerous stories of hope from people who attend in who attend Fresh Hope groups and stories of hope. Um, so the Bakersfield is one, and the church in El Salvador, Safad Church, El Salvador, and there will be a church in Bolivia that it will be showing live, and in Minnesota. So those are places where they're going to have large group gatherings and watch it via satellite, and it'll be really fun. And it is possible also to watch online. But as I said, we'll let you know later about those places or how to do that because we want to first get the tickets taken care of in Omaha. And we certainly will be making information available to everybody, and we're really glad. Hey, Los Angeles is watching right now. Jeff, or Warren, we're glad to have you, and yeah, we're really looking forward to this. The Woodman Valley Church in Colorado will be one of the places where that we have this. And here, Minnesota, Bolivia. Bolivia's got a large church that has actually embedded hope coaching into their entire ministry. So, it should be interesting. If you use the promo code Early Bird to get a discount if you buy your tickets by August 15th. So you're going to get a discount if you buy your tickets by August 15th. And I would encourage you to do that because after August 15th, they'll be $35 and you won't get the discount. So, yeah, Sandy Patty Live, September 22nd, Thursday, September 22nd in Omaha, it out in the suburb Elkhorn and at Relevant Church. And we'll have 800 and some seats available. So you're going to want to get your tickets early. And I suspect you could even get possible tickets that for group rates and things like that if you want to bring your church or whatever. But we're really excited to have Sandy with us, and it'll be a real blessing. She was with us on our virtual one that we had a couple of years ago, but this is going to be much better, and she'll be singing a whole lot more. And so there'll be lots of stories, motivational, inspirational stories about hope. Well, I thought maybe I would just talk to you very briefly tonight about something that a couple of things that we've got coming up in Fresh Hope, and I want to make you aware of them. One is we are going to have the first ever planned virtual international conference on mental health and living well in February 11th for 24 hours. It will play and be free to those. I believe it will be free, but it is the first ever peer-led, peer-planned, peer-written, peer, not the professionals, not the clinicians speaking to us, but one another speaking to us, and we're calling it Voices of Hope. And we certainly hope you will mark February 11th on your calendar. And we're starting to get speakers now, and you'll be hearing more and more about this as the year ends. But I want you to be able to get it on your calendar, February 11th. And it's called Voices of Hope. Be watching for a page you can join on Facebook. There'll be a group called Voices of Hope. And, you know, so many times I've gone to conferences to speak, and I end up being one of the people who speaks that's in the minority. You know, one of the few that has a mental health diagnosis. Well, AA has known for years that if somebody is talking to you and they have lived experience with the same thing, then that in fact is something that, you know, it's so much it can be told to one another or shared with one another that can help us learn how to live well in spite of our mental health diagnosis, and that the professionals, you know, they are going to deal with us from a clinical perspective. But the opposite side of that is, how do I live day to day? How do I live with this? How do I live with bipolar or depression or anxiety or whatever? How do I do it? And the practical insights that we can gain from one another will be incredibly important. And this is the first one. I had a friend that pretty well versed in this area of who's out there and doing what. And he said he's aware of one other conference, but that conference is peers, and it's their anti-medicine and anti-treatment, medical treatment for mental health issues. And that is not what this is going to be. This is going to be about us speaking hope into each other's lives and sharing insights with one another as to how we live and how we can care for one another and be there for one another. So we're going to have a track for those of you who love somebody with a mental health issue. Those of us, of course, who have a mental health issue. We're going to have a track for church leaders and knowing and hearing from peers about how important a support group ministry is in a church and how important hope is, as well as you know, the bottom line is that there'll be these different tracks, but you can go back and forth on the tracks. And there'll be a track specifically for those who are having anxiety due to the lockdown and the pandemic, as well as there'll be a track that's there for those who are experiencing or have experienced trauma in their lives. And so we're really excited about that. Um, yeah, so we're really happy to have you guys on tonight. It's fun to make this announcement about Thursday, September 22nd, which is the first one, and then the Voices of Hope thing coming up in uh, let's see. I'm kind of scattered because I'm listening to it thunder and wondering when I'm going to have to run. But so Voices of Hope on February 11th is the other thing I wanted to tell you about, and we're very excited. Now, another thing that we're doing is we're starting a thing called Healing the Heart Wounds of Ministry. This will be for ministry leaders in churches, and if you know of any pastors or and their spouses that might benefit from this, hit us up and let us know, because we're going to be starting to offer these on a regular basis, and we're really looking forward to helping clergy. It's reported that half of the pastors in the United States today would like to quit. They're so discouraged and worn out, especially since the pandemic and trying to figure ministry out with that. So, anyway, it'd be great if you'd let your pastor know and spouses and things like that. That would be fantastic. The other thing is we've got groups for teenagers going online, and if your church is interested in starting a group for teenagers, we'd love to have you join that crowd of people. Teenagers are really suffering right now, and they say with the pandemic, we have yet to see the full thrust of what the pandemic did to everybody with their mental health, and we're much more agitated and irritated as people today. So lots of people suffering from depression and anxiety, so we are wanting to help with that. We also have a 4-week Bible study if somebody would like to do that, and it's free. You don't need to have training in order to lead it. You can just get the material from us and use it freely, and your whole church can use it, or you can use it, or your neighborhood can use it, or whatever. And then one last thing I want to tell you about before I tell you about a book I'm reading. Um, there is, we have made a change. We've made a pivot in Fresh Hope where no longer, for years we've said, in order to start a Fresh Hope group, a church has to sponsor the group, meaning the church would sponsor it. Now we're saying anyone can start a Fresh Hope group that wants to start a Fresh Hope group. For those who might not have a church that wants to sponsor their group, we'll sponsor it, as the international office of Fresh Hope will sponsor it, and the training and all of that can be done. The only thing we ask is that our Fresh Hope groups meet in public places, just for safety purposes and everybody's protection. And so if you have been thinking about or would like to, we would be more than happy to help you get a Fresh Hope group going. And yeah. And of course, if you've never checked out our podcast, please do. At one point, I don't know that it's true today, but at one point, Fresh Hope for Mental Health's podcast was the actual #1 Christian mental health podcast on iTunes. Now, my son said, when I told him that, he said, "Well, Dad, how many podcasts are there? 3?" No, there's more than that. But anyway, check it out. It's freshhopeformentalhealth.com. You can find it on iTunes and every place where you might find podcasts. It's going to probably be there. So the thunder keeps coming. We'll see. We'll see. I'm looking at my wife over here who's sitting by me. You should come over here and say hi to everybody. She's usually upstairs in the house, because usually I'm downstairs in the basement, but here she is. So, yes, you might want to get under the sign.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining tonight. We're so glad to have you here, and we're excited about all the stuff that's coming up for Fresh Hope.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's exciting.
Yeah.
And Donna's our trauma healing person. And so if you ever want to have a trauma healing group at your location or in your neighborhood or for your friends, contact her, Donna at freshhope.us, Donna at freshhope.us, and she'll help you discover that. Now, how do you get tickets for the Sandy Patty thing in Omaha? It's very simple. This is for those of you who will be able to be with us and be with us in person on Thursday night, September 22nd. And you can get the tickets online at freshhope.us and just click on there. At the very top, there's a banner that says Fresh Hope Tickets or Celebration of Hope Tickets, and you can get them. And if you buy them before August 15th, you're going to get them at a reduced rate. And if you want to know anything about trauma healing, also, like I just said, it's Donna at freshhope.us. And Donna will be able to, or Donna will be happy to talk with you about that. And so my wife and my first cousin are saying hi to each other. Clayton, we're glad you're watching. We're glad you're watching. Please hold down the fort. I missed a family gathering here about a week or so ago, so I need to get caught up. We've had our son's son, Zion, spent the last week with us, just he and the two of us and the dog. And so we're excited to, well, we're kind of sad. It'll be quiet at our house, but maybe that'll be a good thing, I think. But anyway, our grandson, who some of you met him from Sunday's message, I introduced him, and he's really a ham. He really didn't want to sit down. He wanted to be part of the sermon. I said, maybe we should have had you preach. And he says, well, I'd be more than happy to. And he was ready right then and there to preach. Oh, well. And now, so Sandy Patty, September 22nd, Thursday, September 22nd. Get your tickets at freshhope.us. And there are 5 satellite locations that will be having it shown in their churches, in larger venues. So we're excited about that. And the audiences will be able to see each other. Now, the only other thing I mentioned, or one of the other things I mentioned, was the Voices of Hope conference coming up February 11th. That's a ways off, but it's going to be huge. We hope there will be thousands and thousands. It's not going to be just primarily Christian focused. It's going to be the best peers that we can find to lead workshops and to speak and to encourage one another, all from a hope-filled, recovery-filled perspective. And so we're hoping to, so to speak, share our hope as Christians by sponsoring an event that would go broader than what we would normally do for Fresh Hope. Okay, I'm reading a fascinating book that I hope to have this author on the podcast with me, but I'm going to tell you, she says everything I believe, at least so far. I'm not completely done with the book, but I'm going to tell you I would get this book if I were you. I should have grabbed it. I didn't bring it out here with me, but the title of the book is Get Out of Your Head. I love the whole, the whole idea of get out of your head. The problem is in our head. The battle is in our head. And our minds, by the right choices, can actually change our brains. You've heard me say this many times probably, but your brain is the organ. It's just like every other part of your body. It's no more spiritual than your large intestine or any other part of your body. And it will get buried with you, or if you're cremated, it will get cremated with you. But when you die, your brain will die also. Your mind, though, is something a little different than your brain. They're not the same thing. Your mind is what your brain does, but your mind is also part of your spirit, man. Part of your spirit. And so I would like to encourage you to really pick up this book. I think you'd appreciate it and really like it. Get out of your head. And Maria, do you know who wrote that? It's a woman. It's written mainly for women, but I'm finding it fitting me to a T. But she really uses some fresh language at helping people understand how to take captive your thinking and get rid of your stinking thinking and get rid of your toxic thinking, because toxic thinking and negative thoughts, and they say about 70% of the average person's thinking in a given day, out of about 30,000, each of us averages about 30,000 thoughts per day, that 70% of them are in fact negative. So Jenny Allen is the author, and the book is Get Out of Your Head. I'm hoping to have her not only be a speaker for us at our Voices of Hope conference, we're going to hope and pray that she can, but also I would just encourage you to read the book. I want to interview her on the podcast. She's saying a lot of the same things that I've said for years, but she's saying them in fresh and new ways, and I really like it, and I like how she says it. So there you have it. The big announcement and a few other announcements tonight, all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada. And trust me, this is not Sin City to us. This is the place where our grandson lives, one of our grandsons. He's the youngest one. And so, anyway, hey, God bless you guys. I'll be back with you next Thursday evening, and we'll have a topic more than just announcements. But remember, Celebration of Hope, Thursday night, September 22nd in Omaha, Nebraska. Fly in, be part of the fun, as well as we'd love to have those of you who are going to be joining us in Omaha, but also you can join us at the 5 different satellite places. It'll be in English and Spanish. And you know what? The book is being translated in the Japanese, Chinese. The French translation of the book is done now. And Rwanda just started a Fresh Hope group. 8 leaders in Rwanda and Bolivia and some other countries. Sometime I'll interview Sam and let you guys know what's going on there. So anyway, God bless you guys, and you take care, and we will see you next week, okay? Thanks so much. This has been another edition of Living Well. Bye.